Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the King of the Beta tournament, hosted by me, your host, Day9, and of course, gigantic thanks to Razer for sponsoring this wonderful event where we have the 8 top players from the days of the beta duking it out for a $2,000 first place prize and a $1,000 second place prize. Would like to thank the wonderful viewers for all being patient and happily waiting around while the stream stabilized. We are going to be going directly into Game 2 right now. As the finally loads, as we have the giant floating green egg in space, and yes, here we are. We do have Tester against Idra. This is Game 1. Tester is playing under the ID OGS SSKS. As many of you know, OGS is the top clan in Korea right now for Starcraft 2. They've won so many team leagues, with OGS against Prime happening recently on GOM TV, where OGS 5-0'd Prime, which has players with the likes of Dayfly, Maka, and Czech. So very talented team on OGS. And of course we have under the ID Hwani is Idra, the only American pro gamer currently residing in South Korea. He is playing for the CJ Entus Pro team. Now both these players do play games for a profession, so we're absolutely going to see some top level games coming out right now. We do have Tester throwing down a pylon at his choke. This is a very typical opening for Protoss on this map. They love getting those early gateways up and putting pressure on their opponents. Probe heading directly into Idra's base. A little bit unfortunate for Idra that he did end up in these spots where he could get scouted so easily, but you know, got to deal with this sort of probability in the games. But Idra, most of the time, doesn't favor early expanding. He likes to make a pool before his hatch. We still don't see any sort of gateway outside the front for Tester. He's just continuing to chronoboost probes, and Tester is one of the players who pioneered aggressive 2-gate openings. And I will admit, Idra and Tester have a little bit of history in the Team Liquid Invitational, or actually the Altitude Team Liquid Invitational. Tester and Idra duked it out in the finals, and Tester managed to beat Idra, and Idra's always seemed to have a little bit of a mental block against Tester in these matches, so it's going to be a little bit of an uphill battle for Idra as he does throw down that slightly late spawning pool. He's already up to 15 food, and this probe doing a lot of nice harassment there. And, ooh, a Forge coming up. Now, this is something that you don't really see in StarCraft 2 Beta, Protoss vs. Zergs. Players really don't like getting that Forge early. They much prefer to go gateways and then expand. But a Forge expand, a very old-school build. And, oh, look at this. Oh, my God, building 2 pylons at the bottom of the ramp. That does make a solid wall. Idra was originally going to send 2 probes to make an hatchery down there, but it looks like there are 2 pylons blocking everything. And look at how little space these poor drones have. Absolutely none. They cannot possibly whittle away at those fast enough. And cannoning the bottom of his opponent's ramp. The new grid layout for buildings make it much easier to wall your opponent in. So that is exactly what we're seeing Tester do. And Idra kind of having to do a little bit of freestyling now. I'm almost certain that he hasn't experienced this a lot, because this is a very unorthodox way to open. You kind of have to bank on the fact that you will be close to your opponent and you can get these pylons off in time. But gas going down for Idra regardless. We still don't see any other structures from Tester. No gas taken. He is making a gateway at the front of his base. Let's see if Tester ends up expanding and using this as a very nice delay to get his own Nexus up, or whether he's going to try to go for something a little bit more aggressive, continue to tech, continue to make gateway units. Now there's a few options that Idra has right now. It looks like he is just continuing to make drones at this point in time, but Baneling Bus would be a popular choice just to waltz down, destroy those pylons, and then directly push against the front here. Either way, Idra is getting a great sense of where his opponent is at. I do want to once again reiterate that in this bottom group, the little one is currently leading it at 1-0 and Huck behind at 0-1. So whoever wins this game will be in the top 2 with the little one. And oh, look at this move by Idra. He's building a hatchery at the top of his base. He had the money to build the hatch. You know, it's not exactly ideal, but sometimes you just have to be able to spend your money on something useful. And after powering this many drones, Idra's going to have a decent economy. So it looks like one spine crawler up now. With the recent changes in the beta where those spine crawlers do a little bit more damage, they do a little bit faster of an attack, they are much stronger at allowing for defense and also for busting down these sorts of wall offs. Either way, double gas going down for Tester. Cybernetics core, oh, and Double Cybernetics Core. That's an interesting build coming out of Korea, or as we like to call it on the US servers, mistake. So I would not recommend the Double Cyber Core build. But, you know, these sorts of accidents can happen. But, you know, I like this play, getting this early Cybernetics Core. We really love Force Fields. It will let us defend against those sort of Baneling busts that I did say earlier on. Spinecrawler advancing forward, trying to let that creep expand enough so we can finally burrow and begin headbutting away at these pylons. Looks like Chrono Boost on the wrong Cybernetics Core. Ooh, Tester with some very uncharacteristic sloppiness, getting that +1 upgrade. And instead of expanding, favoring gateways, looks like he's preparing to just do some sort of follow-up aggression. And in the meantime, Idra is massing Zerglings. Look at the number of Zerglings popping out of these hatches. And in the meantime, Idra has such low energy on that queen. He's being so active about constantly vomiting additional larvae. Very, very, very good play. And oh, looks like Idra's going to have to yet again move the Spinecrawler forward if he wants to be able to stay afloat. But oh my god, look at this. Just waltzing right past, not even engaging in it. He's going to have that Spinecrawler be up there. But oh my god, there's no sentries anywhere. Where are the sentries? This is a huge push right now. He's chrono boosting that. It looks like Idra's trying to hit everything he can, but this Zealot really can't be hit from that many angles. The sentry is so close to getting up. There's a sentry with a force field. Oh my god, Tester barely getting that up in time, and it looks like he will be able to maybe stay alive, but Idra is not letting up. He is relentless with these Zerglings, just wants to try to break it down. Another nice force field from Tester. Looks like Tester is not going to be expanding at all because he knows how dangerous this sort of giant Zergling bust would be, and of course a Baneling bust, but Idra is not giving up. He still wants to try to push in there. He's just hoping his opponent runs out of energy, and it looks like he has. Oh my god! That sentry popped out just in time. Look at that sentry all the way down at 0 energy, just barely getting enough, and +1 is very rapidly finishing right now for Tester. And it looks like once that probe has hit the front, it will be able to throw down a pylon, so Tester is finally in safe waters, and Idra still hasn't gotten an expansion up. His layer is up. Doesn't look like he's gotten any tech with that layer. No Mutalisk out, and uh-oh, here comes the Warp Gate push right after the double Cybernetics Core opening. Nexus going down for Tester, and it looks like now finally Tester's going to feel comfortable moving out. Oh god, another little blunder by Idra. It's those little things that really frustrate you, really make you feel like you're playing from behind. So right now Idra starting off 0-1. Oh, looks like, or excuse me, starting off potentially going down 0-1 because this is a very, very difficult series. Or very difficult game at this point in time to be able to come back from. He invested so heavily in the Zerglings, and still no hatchery up. It looks like Idra wanted to move that Spinecrawler forward, throw down some of the gack, that is the creep at the front, and burrow one of those Spinecrawlers there to try to poke away at this Warp Gate Forge and Pylon, but it doesn't look like he had enough time to get there, and because that Overlord did end up dying. Look at this, getting that +2 attack, and Tester doing a great job getting a lot of Zealots and Sentries with that +1 upgrade. They do 18 damage. Oh, GG from Idra. Oh my god, doesn't even want to play it out. Doesn't look like he was in a comfortable spot at all. And I am not going to lie, I do not blame Idra. That is an absolutely atrocious spot to be in as Zerg. After you've invested that much in Zerglings, and you see that your opponent is coming in with a bunch of +1 Zealots. Recall that Zealots do kill Zerglings in 2 hits instead of 3 once that upgrade comes out. And with Tester's ability to throw down those perfect force fields, it would be way, way too difficult for Idra to be able to get a good surround. So, we will be going into Game 2. Idra is down 0-1, as apparently I accidentally predicted in the early stages, but once again, I have not gotten the chance to see these games yet, so I'm first timing it just as you are. So we will be going into Game 2 in just a moment. The question on everyone's mind is, what map will Idra choose? More importantly, I wonder what map Tester downvoted. Either way, we will be back in 20 seconds with Game 2.